It's Ron Kelly Show. When we're on, matter of fact, we're on YouTube. YouTube live right now. It's the Ron Kelly Show. There I am. Okay, the Ron Kelly Show. Looking good as usual. All right, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about Trump and this NFL thing. I'm gonna play that clip that I didn't play last week. Roseanne got canned, and we're gonna talk about why, and why was the show so popular in the first place. We'll talk about that as well, and we're gonna talk about my friend Eric G. Lowe, who unaware, oblivious, unaware. I was totally unaware that he had pled guilty to extortion. Eric Lowe, some of you know, for the Patterson folks, some of you know Eric Lowe, who was the, thank you, my brother. Shout out to my brother, my baby brother, Albert, otherwise known as DJ Tiny. Let me say DJ Tiny. I'll get back to that. DJ Tiny. Okay. We'll get back to that in just a second. Just part of my dedicated audience here on the Ron Kelly Show. And we'll talk about Eric Lowe. Some of you may know Eric Lowe, the former Patterson chairman of the MUA, who, unbeknownst to me, pled guilty to extortion in federal court just yesterday. And I'm going to talk a little bit about him. Eric Lowe, who is my friend. And what do you do when someone that you are friends with gets caught out there, so to speak, or commits a crime? What do? You abandon the person, or do you stick by them? We'll talk about that. And on a whole lot more right here. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com and RonKellyShow.com. You don't usually talk about Trump too often because, Trump is Trump and he makes a lot of noise. But let me just let you hear this piece. And let me start with this. Let me just let you hear this piece of Trump responding right after the news broke that the NFL would allow players to stay in the locker room, those who wanted to kneel and did not feel that they should stand for the national anthem. The NFL decided by a show of hands, actually. It wasn't a formal vote. It was a show of hands, I'm just finding out. In the NFL, what they did was they took a vote and they decided that players who didn't want to stand for the national anthem on the field could stay in the locker room. So let's hear what Mr. Trump has to say about this. Right, this is Trump on Fox News right after the news broke about that story.
Some breaking news while you were in there. The NFL has made a decision on something that means a lot to you and a lot of other Americans. The the owners have voted unanimously to approve a new national anthem rule that says if you're not going to stand, stay in the locker room. If you go to the field, you have to stand. If you have a protest, your team's going to get fined. This is the first time you're hearing this. What's your reaction, Mr. President?
Well, I think that's good. I don't think people should be staying in locker rooms, but still, I think it's good. You have to stand proudly for the national anthem. Well, you shouldn't be playing. You shouldn't be there. Maybe you shouldn't be in the country. You have to stand proudly for the national anthem. And the NFL owners did the right thing if that's what they've done.
So maybe you shouldn't be in the country. Shout out to Audrey Turner, who's watching the program. Shout out to her. So, so maybe you shouldn't be in the country. Let me just listen a little bit more to this. This is Trump on Fox and Friends responding to the news that the NFL owners had decided to let the players stay in the locker room rather than coming out and saluting the flag if they didn't want to.
If that is the story, do you feel like you push this story forward and you push this to a conclusion?
I think the people pushed it forward. This was not me. I brought it out. I think the people pushed it forward. This country is very smart. We have very smart people. And, that's something ideally could have been taken care of when it first started. It would have been a lot easier. But if they did that, they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So that was Trump. That was a piece of President Trump on Fox and Friends, and he was referring to the news. This was right after the news broke that the NFL had decided to let players stay in the locker room rather than to kneel or to come out and be forced to stand for the national anthem. Shout out to Audrey Turner, who's watching the program. Shout out to Lamont Gates, who's watching the program. There were 800 people last week who watched the Ron Kelly Show before I even went off the air. So, and all these people are not still show up on the, I guess people who I know actually show up on the feed. But yeah, there were 800 people who watched the Ron Kelly Show last week, 1,300 before. So I want to thank everybody for watching and taking time out to watch and listen and learn. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com. So that was the piece that I wanted to play last week about Trump and his saying that players maybe shouldn't even be in the United States of America. I mean, shouldn't be in the country. I'm sorry about this angle, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have anyway. So this is what he went on to say. And see, and this is a Trump who was invited to the NAACP convention twice and turned it down twice. But he ran to the not NBA. He ran to the NRA convention twice. This is the man who, when he rallies, who. I mean, once you campaign, the campaigning is over. But this president, when he needs to feel loved, he goes out and he campaigns. And everyone campaigns in the deep South, Tennessee, and some of the other places where there's a bunch of folks like Roseanne, and we'll get to her in a few minutes, where a bunch of folks love him. They love him. And we're going to talk about Roseanne, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about Roseanne and not necessarily about what she did, but why her show was so popular. 18 million viewers for the first episode of Roseanne, the reboot of Roseanne. There were 18 million viewers, which made it the highest rated show in America in all of TV, not just ABC. And it was canceled earlier this week, as you all know, because she made some racist comments. Albert's saying he's not hearing anything. All right, what we'll do, we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back because someone is telling me they're not hearing anything. There must be some issue with Blog Talk Radio. So we'll take a break. We'll come right back with more of the program. It's Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com. Shout out to Eric G. Lowe, who just tuned in. Also to Audrey Turner and Lamont Case. I'm sliding it down. We'll take a break. We'll come right back with more of this program. It's Ron Kelly Show, and it's on Blog Talk Radio. blogtalkradio.com.
We'll be back with more of the Ron Kelly Show after this.
Snickerdoodle shortbread, crunchy nut bars. How many chickens? Snickerdoodle shortbread, crunchy nut bars. How many chickens in the cookie jar? One. Dad, you're supposed to jump over the rope.
One more time. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting to the world.
Hello.
The Ron Kelly Show. The news you want.
The perception still that a black man with a gun is a criminal.
With the topics you need.
Marching might have been good, kind of effective as marching has on society today.
Ron Kelly.
Black males 18 to 24 years old have the highest homicide offender.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
So don't get it twisted.
We're back. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com. Albert, I cannot answer you back, so please keep me posted on what may or may not be going on with the radio program. I cannot answer you back because I'm on Facebook Live, but shout out to DJ Tiny, who does his thing every Wednesday night from 8 to 10 p.m. It's DJ Tiny spinning the house hits for you on dwildmusicradio.com every Wednesday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. It's DJ Tiny, dwildmusicradio.com. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's the Ron Kelly Show. I'm being told that my radio people can't hear anything. I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully, we can get that rectified because I do want the radio people to hear just as much as I want the folks who watch on YouTube, on the Ron Kelly Show channel on YouTube and also Facebook Live. So I want everybody to hear the program. I'm not sure what's going on at Blog Talk Radio, but we definitely have to find another medium for the Ron Kelly Show to take place because it's one thing after another with Blog Talk Radio, and I hope they can hear me. If nobody else can hear me, I hope Blog Talk Radio can hear me because your system is garbage. Okay. All right, we're back. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and we're on, for the moment, we're on blogtalkradio.com. I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll find out what's happening. Okay, shout out to Eric G. Lowe, who I do want to talk about for a moment. And Albert, I can't answer you back. I can't answer you back. I'm not sure what's going on with the radio signal, but I cannot answer you back. So I can't answer you back. Anyway, so I want to talk about this. I just heard, I was floored by the news that I heard yesterday that my good friend Eric G. Lowe was it's difficult to even talk about this, but my friend Eric G. Lowe was pled guilty to extortion, an extortion under the color of authority, and which I was floored by. I mean, you never know you can't put anything past anyone. Not that I put it past him, but you just never know what's going on. So I heard about this and I was floored by the news that my good friend Eric G. Lowe, who had pled guilty to stealing money, basically. Yeah, we can call it what we want to, but what it turned out, but to me, it was embezzlement. It was stealing money from the Paterson Municipal Utilities Authority that was formed by former Paterson Mayor Jeffrey Jones. And so what happened was, as I said yesterday, which I was absolutely floored by, that my good friend Eric G. Lowe was pled guilty to these offenses and is facing some jail time, or prison time, I should say. It won't be jail, it'll be prison, whatever he gets. And man, I just have to take a deep breath because I really feel badly for this brother, somebody who I've known over the years and somebody I've always held in high regard. So what do you do? What do you do? The Pattersonians who know about this, the folks who live in Patterson know about this. I want to know. I mean, you can just type in Eric cannot see what. I don't know if he can see what you're typing. But I just want to know if people want to chime in on this, if they want to. Shout out to Sharon Allen Chambers, my #1 fan. Thank you, Sharon, for all you do. And I just want to know what people think about Eric G. Lowe and well, it's not alleged anymore. Again, I was floored when I heard that he had admitted to Judge Linares that for taking money from the MUA. I did get an email from Eric. If I get his permission, I'll read the email I'll read the text message over the, on the show. I'll read the text message on the show. If I get permission from Eric to read the text message, I will read it for the folks who want to hear it. So what do you do? So what do you do? I mean, I feel badly for this brother, somebody who I was really good friends with, and still am, and still am. I don't advocate or support what he did or what he's been accused of or what he copped to. No, I don't support that, but I do support him as a person and what he has meant to me over the years. Now, there's another person. There's an unnamed fellow MUA commissioner, as it's being said, who is also implicit in this. And I believe that I know who it is. I'll get to that a little bit later on in the program. But I believe that I know who this person is before it even comes out. I've done my homework, and I know a lot about what goes on in the city of Patterson, even though I don't live there, but I know a lot about what goes on there. So I will reveal to everyone who I think the other person is, who is implicit in this scandalous situation that just took place. It just took place yesterday in Newark Federal Court. Okay. All right. So I'm not sure, anybody who's listened to the Ron Kelly Show, I'm asking someone to log into the Ron Kelly Show. All you have to do is just click on the link in any one of my posts where I post a link. When I post about the show, I post a link to the show. So anyone who's out there who has access to a computer, which I do, but I can't do it right now because I'm on various, I'm on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, The Ron Kelly Show, and I'm on Facebook Live. So if anyone can check you know, if anyone can log on to the Ron Kelly Show, and see if you hear anything. If you don't hear anything, please let me know by telling me on Facebook Live. Okay, all right, we'll take a quick break, and I'll see what I can do about this, because I do want my radio fans, my radio people to hear the show as well. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back with more of this program. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com.
The Ron Kelly Show. And on the web, theronkellyshow.com.
Some statistics are surprising, some are unbelievable, and some are simply unacceptable. Right now, nearly 30% of U.S. students aren't finishing high school. Nearly 30%, and that's the average. In many places, it's even higher than that. And fixing it is a responsibility that we all share. This is President Obama, and I urge everyone, not just parents, but friends and neighbors and family members, to take responsibility for encouraging the high school students in your communities, to support them, challenge them, push them a little, and do whatever it takes to help them make it through. Because this is one statistic we simply can't afford to ignore.
You can do your part by going to boostup.org and sending an email, a text message, or even a wake-up call to a student at risk of dropping out. Go to boostup.org and provide the boost that's needed to make it to graduation. A message from the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
So glad we left that stupid party. No joke. Hey, baby, are you an overdue library book? Because you got fine written all over you.
Oh, Barb, what about that girl with the hoop earring?
Ridiculous.
When she was dancing, look out, look out! Oh my God, Becky. Becky, are you okay? My arm. I think it's broken. Can you bend it? It's already bent in the wrong direction.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
Yeah, I swear. My arm is fine. That's better. You really okay?
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2. To speak to customer service, press...
It appears that the host has already dialed into the show. Only one host is allowed per show. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com. I'm not sure why there's no...
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, I'm not sure why there's no sound in the, but I'm going to carry on the program. I'm not sure why there's no sound in the, I'm not sure why there's no sound. Let me see what's going on here.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
Let's see. All right. No, it's not muted. Thank you. Shout out to Lamont Gates. No, it's not muted.
I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4.
Okay. It's not muted, Lamont. I apologize to my listening audience here. What you're listening to is some more Blog Talk nonsense.
The PIN you entered does not match the PIN you have on file for your account. Please re-enter your PIN.
Okay, all right. We're gonna go on with the program without Blog Talk Radio. I'm gonna finish the show on.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Yeah, no, shout out to Lamont Gates who just came into the Ron Kelly Show. You know, it's always not one thing; it's another with Blog Talk Radio nonsense, and I really need to find another venue for my program because Blog Talk Radio is actually just straight up trash. And if it's not one thing, it's another with Blog Talk Radio. So yeah, I'm definitely going to try to find a.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
3, 5, 6, 8. Man, that is loud.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear.
There are no shows scheduled within the next 24 hours.
Okay.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay. All right, everybody. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com. I'm not sure why. I don't know. Anyway, so we talked a little bit about Trump, and we'll carry the show on the YouTube channel and also on Facebook Live. So we'll just eliminate the Blog Talk Radio portion of the program. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining me today on the Ron Kelly Show. And we are on blogtalkradio.com sometimes anyway. Let me see if I can 7:30. Yeah, okay. Let me see if I can go back to no, it's not, yo. It's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Shout out to my boy Bunny, who's down in Maryland doing his thing. Let me see if I can start this show back up again. Okay. Yeah, so, all right, so we talked a little bit about Trump and his tirade against the NFL. You know, the only problem Trump has with the NFL is that there's a lot of black players. Because if it was the National Hockey League or some other place, he wouldn't have a problem with that. I don't think he would have a problem with the National Hockey League or someone else. I just don't think he would have a problem with that. But because black people are, and I'm slipping and sliding here, okay, because black people are a large part of the NFL. As a matter of fact, 70% or so of black folks are members of the NFL. This is why Mr. Trump has such a problem with it. Because like I said earlier, he didn't go to the NAACP convention, turned it down twice. Shout out to Diana Glenn, who's watching the program. And shout out to Bunny McKnight, my boy. He's down in Maryland doing his thing with his fan. So Trump, Trump is a racist, and I try to avoid saying it, you know, and I really don't like even talking about the man because he's just a bag of nonsense. But I don't even really like talking about him. But oh, okay, all right. So you know, I really don't even like talking about Trump because he's, you know, he's just, you know, a lot of nonsense. And for the people who are listening, we're not on Blog Talk Radio right now. I ended that episode, so I'm not on Blog Talk Radio right now. Love you, my sister. We're not on Blog Talk Radio right now. We are on Facebook Live and we are on the YouTube Ron Kelly Show YouTube channel. So it's the Ron Kelly Show and it's on Facebook Live and it's on the YouTube channel, the Ron Kelly Show channel. Okay, so we talked a little bit about this nonsense with Trump. And, you know, and it stands to reason. The man is, you know, I've tried to avoid saying he was racist, but, you know, I mean, it's unavoidable. You can't skip it over more. Donald Trump is a racist. And I've avoided saying it because, you know, he's the president of the United States. And, you know, and I do respect the office of the president of the United States of America, but I don't respect this man at all. And things that he's done where he didn't go to the NAACP convention. He just said nothing about young James Shaw, the hero of the Waffle House situation over there, where he disarmed the crazy white dude who was naked except for a jacket. So you see somebody like that coming, you ought to know that it's time to head for the hills. But he didn't head for the hills. He took on this fool, took the gun from him, threw it over the counter, and saved many, many lives. And Donald Trump did not even invite him to the White House, didn't even mention him whatsoever, not even an honorable mention, like shout out to James Shaw. You know, now, how many people have come along and stopped some of these things? No one has come along and stopped these things. This young brother, courageous young brother, and he was right. He was trying to save himself. Everybody else just got saved because he was trying to save himself. Okay, I can get with that. I may not say that, but I can get with that. But this brother took on this armed criminal, and what he did was he saved many, many lives. I mean, regrettably, 2 people died, but he did save a lot of lives. Trump said nothing. He said nothing to this man, nothing. So, and with the NFL, like I said about the NFL, what he said was reprehensible. So we move on to this Roseanne thing, right? And we segue into Roseanne because he also didn't say anything about what Roseanne said about Valerie Jarrett. So there's a girl, Samantha Bee, who does a show on TBS at night. She's got a nighttime show. Samantha Bee, B-E, you can Google her. She said something about Ivanka, the daughter of Donald Trump, Ivanka Trump. Samantha Bee said something about Ivanka Trump, and yeah, okay, it wasn't right, it wasn't nice. But she said it, and she called her the C word, C-U-N-T. That's what she called her. And then now people are trying to come out and say that what Roseanne said, they're comparing what Roseanne said to what Samantha Bee said just last night. And she came out and what Samantha Bee said was wrong. Right. That's right. Shout out to Diana Glenn, who says that if it was President Obama had done some of the things that Trump has done, they'd be looking to impeach him, which is 100% right. Shout out to Diana and Bunny McKnight. Shout out to Sharon Allen Chambers, Lamont Gates, Eric G. Lowe, and RG Turner, and all the folks who are watching the Ron Kelly Show right now on Facebook Live and on the Ron Kelly Show YouTube channel. We are not on Blog Talk Radio tonight for whatever reason. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if the person who was telling me this couldn't listen to the show, had issues with their own computer, or there were issues with mine. But in any case, I cut that broadcast. There won't be any more breaks from now until the end of 8 o'clock, the end of this show. So yeah, so if now this is trying to compare what Samantha Bee, who's a late night talk show host on TBS, they're trying to compare what she said to what Roseanne said. Now, it's pretty obvious to me that what Roseanne said was much worse than what Samantha Bee said. I mean, yeah, okay, she disrespected the president's daughter. How many times did the Obama daughters get disrespected? How many times? How many times did people attack Malia and Sasha Obama? How many times did they get attacked? How many times did people talk about them, call them little apes and monkeys and stuff like that, and they got away with it? See, the reason why Roseanne's show was so popular, because there's a lot of people out there like her. The show had 18 million viewers when it first came on the air, a reboot rather, when it came on the air. And it was already, shout out to Freddie Wembley, it was already on the way to being renewed. Roseanne's shows. There's a lot of, because Roseanne's show was already on the edge. I saw a scene with her in a market with a Muslim woman. And she said something disrespectful to the Muslim woman who was part of the show, I'm sure. It wasn't, it was staged. But Roseanne was already filthy. Because, if you look back, most of you remember Roseanne, who sang the national anthem and destroyed it. And then she spit and grabbed her crotch after she sang, because they booed her like crazy, so you could barely hear what she was singing anyway. So at the end, she grabbed her crotch. Yeah, she grabbed her crotch and and spit and grabbed her crotch while after she sung the national anthem. First of all, she can't sing, and I don't know why they put her to sing national anthem anyway. But shout out to Diana Glenn. Yes, absolutely. That how many times did they attack the Obamas, Malia and Sasha, and nobody said anything? So this is the world we live in today, ladies and gentlemen. And we need not get bent out of shape when these things happen. What we need to do is do something. And I still hold the position that folks, instead of posting these videos about racism, I think that something can be done. Because right now we are choosing to leave things the way they are. We're choosing it because as a people, there are some things that we could be doing to make things better for the Black community. There are things that we could be doing. But as a people, we're not doing them. What we do is we post something happens, a Black person gets killed or run over or whatever the case may be by some white folks or police. We get mad, we post, and we go on about our business, and that's the end of it. You see, white folks, those who, and shout out to white folks who watch and listen to this program, because believe there's a lot of them. There's more white people than black people who watch the show to a degree. But now, here's the thing. Now, Trump, you see, we need to take action. I don't mean go out and kill someone, or or I don't mean to go out and hurt someone, or I don't subscribe to the Black Panther mentality, eye for an eye and all this type of stuff. No, I don't subscribe to that at all. And I need to be abundantly clear, make myself abundantly clear that I don't subscribe to people being killed by, people, white folks. We go out and ambush some white folks. No, I don't subscribe to that. And if anybody misunderstands me, understand that I don't subscribe to that. But we are choosing today, because the more we sit back and do nothing, the more these things advance, and the more disrespect is going to be perpetrated or visited upon black folks. As long as we sit back, as long as we sit back and relax and not do anything, thanks a lot, Freddie. Shout out to Freddie Wimberly, good friend of mine. So we don't want to do that, but we do need to, and I wonder if that's really Freddie or not, because I'll talk about that later on, about how corrupted Facebook is. I wonder if that's really Freddie. But anyway, so what happens is that as long as we don't do anything, these things keep happening. They keep happening over and over and over again. And so, and what will happen is folks who does these things, will keep doing it because they know nothing's going to happen. So as long as we sit back and relax and, oh, well, let me just wait until it happens to me, like some people, wait until it happens to me and then I take action. No, you need to take action now. Okay, so someone posted, oh, okay, all right, Freddie. Because, because I say that, let me segue for a second, because I get messages from people who I haven't talked to in years on Facebook Messenger. And I talked about it, I think last week, the week before last. And the reason why I'm saying this, Freddie, is because I get a lot of messages from Freddie, and I don't believe that they're actually from him. But yeah, shout out to Diana Glenn, who says, I'll get back to that. Totally agree that we are so selfish and not wanting to help each other because we don't want anybody to have more than we do. Soon we will not have black males to reproduce our culture. So sad. Thanks. Shout out to Diana Glenn. Thank you for that. And yeah, she's right. She's right. That we're not going to be able to procreate anymore. And see, because black men are probably the strongest, and I don't want to get into this, sound like a racist or anything like that, but black men are probably the strongest men, as culturally speaking, on earth, because it takes a lot to be a black man, especially here in America. It takes a lot to be, you're going to have to go through a lot to be a black man in this country. You have to go through a lot, and that's just the long and the short of it. I'm not, I love America. Despite what goes on, this is my country. But, okay, it is Diana Watkins. Okay, yeah. I remember you, Diana. Yeah. And I just need to segue. Let me go back. There's not going to be any commercials, everyone, because we're not on Blog Talk Radio at the moment. I believe it's a half of the program now. I have to get rid of it. But we are on YouTube and on the Ron Kelly Show on YouTube. And we are on the Facebook Live. But there's no Ron Kelly Show on Blog Talk Radio, on the radio tonight. We are not on the radio. So there won't be any more commercials. Yeah, I remember you, Diana. Yes, back in the day, Storms Avenue. Where my Storms Avenue people at? Storms Avenue, Jersey City is in the house. Boy, I can go for a steak and take right now. I heard steak and take, Barchet Steak and Take is, well, it's not Barchet's anymore, but it's on Jewett Avenue and Monticello Avenue. Boy, I could use a steak right about now. Some chicken skins. If y'all know about chicken skins, you need to go get some. The Steak and Take in Jersey City on Jewett Avenue, Monticello Avenue. I just gave him a free plug. Maybe I'll go over there and get a sandwich one day on the arm. Anyway, everybody. So, yeah, and see, and as long as we don't do anything, we'll keep getting killed. We'll keep getting, because how many situations, how many situations that take place we don't know about? No. How many situations we don't know about? How many? There's a lot of them. How many disrespect? How much disrespect? How many of us get railroaded by the justice system in this country? That even for some black people with millions and millions of dollars. Look at Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's money couldn't buy him out of a conviction, but it buys a lot of people out of conviction. Look at the young fool, Ethan Couch, the young idiot from Texas. Some of you will remember this story that I talked about on the Ron Kelly Show. A couple of years ago, this young fool gets drunk and drives daddy's pickup truck into 4 people who are standing on the side of the road. That's right. We're in the house, Sharon Allen Chambers. That's right. Jersey City is in the house. And this young idiot, Ethan Couch, drives and I know I'm all over the place, everybody. Excuse me, pardon me for that. This young fool, young white boy, Ethan Couch, drives a Ford F-150, belongs to his father's company, into a quartet of folks on the side of the road addressing an issue with their car, kills all 4 of them. Kills all 4 of them. And so in the defense was that he suffered from being rich. He suffered from being rich. It was called, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember exactly what it was called. It was called affluenza. That's what it was called. So the defense was that he was rich and he suffered from affluenza. Affluenza, which means that, I'm so rich that I don't know no better. That's basically what the defense was. And it worked. It worked. This young fool who gunned down, he didn't gun down, but he mowed down, I should say, 4 folks with his daddy's pickup truck. This young fool, idiot, gets drunk, DUI, walks into the Walmart, buys a 12-pack of some kind of beer, drinks it, and then jumps in the car, mows down these 4 innocent folks. And the lawyer, the high-priced lawyer, uses the affluenza defense, which means the boy he was rich and he didn't know any better because he was rich. Absolutely, Diana. Absolutely. Why is it that we get killed? Black people get killed for nothing, and those white people kill people and they live? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so this young idiot doesn't get any time, runs away to Mexico with his mother, and is still out of got probation after killing 4 folks, gets probation because the high-priced lawyer said that he had affluenza, which means he was rich, and rich kids don't know any better. So what happens to poor people? Can I say I'm poor affluenza and say, because I've been poor all my life, that it's an excuse for me to go out and do some nonsense? You see, because I'm not going to get the same defense. I'm not going to get the same consideration, I should say, because the judge should have threw that out, and the lawyer and everybody else, but the judge went for it. Affluenza. Poor rich white kid who didn't know any better, didn't know that you shouldn't jump into an SUV and kill folks, didn't know that you shouldn't drink, didn't know. Okay. Didn't know. See, this is what happens in America, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that, you and I, as a person of color, would never get that off. Never. Yes, Diana. Yes, you remember that case. Yes. And African American would never get that off. Never. ever, never, never, ever get that off. Never. Because we're not treated the same. You see, this is the nonsense that we stand by and accept. Philando Castile still breaks my heart. See this young man who was stopped by the police 50 plus times before they finally killed him for a brake light that actually did work. And these police officers get away with murder. They don't get convicted. They don't get, some of them don't even lose their jobs. They ask for, because the justice system works for them. It doesn't work for us. It works for them because they get a bench trial. A bench trial means that you have a judge. That's it. No jury, no nothing. You just have the judge, and the judge decides whether you're guilty or not. 100 times out of 100, the judge in a bench trial is going to side with the police officer, no matter how egregious his act was. We all know this. We know this. So we're not going to get treated the same. We're not going to get treated the same. It's just a shame. And as long as we don't do anything, and I don't mean go out and kill police officers or take justice system in our own hands. I don't mean that, but I mean do something. Make your presence felt, make your presence known. I don't mean 10 people stopping traffic on the FDR Drive. We got to do a little better than that. We got to have 10,000 people on the FDR Drive, 100,000 people on the FDR Drive. That's what we need. There's not enough of us making any noise. So the powers that be say, oh, we don't have to do anything. Right. And then you get to sue them, and sometimes for pennies. I mean, what quantifies a life? If my son was killed by the police, there's no amount of money they can give me to make me feel better. There's no amount. They can give me $100 million. I'm not going to feel better if they take my son's life. It's not just that they took his life, but how they took his life. If I got to sit there and watch a video of my son standing there with his hands up and the cops blow him away, and I'm not talking about all police officers. I know some very good police officers. I was stopped by one the other morning in New Brunswick. He was, once I pulled out the PBA card, he was nice to me. But before that, he wasn't nasty, but he wasn't friendly either. So the people get paid a couple of million, maybe a couple of $100,000, $700,000, $800,000, but it doesn't replace the child that's been lost, the husband, the brother, the uncle, the nephew who's been lost. So we have to do something, people. Can't stop sitting around on Facebook, crying on Facebook about stuff. It's time to do something. Let's get it done. All right, everybody, it's the Ron Kelly Show. We're on Facebook Live. We're on the Ron Kelly Show YouTube channel tonight. There's no Ron Kelly Show on blogtalkradio.com, and we definitely have to find, and I really have to dig in, everyone, and find another venue for my radio show because Blog Talk Radio just isn't making it. So I need to do some research, do some homework, and find another place to put my show. Okay, speaking of Facebook, let me segue to this. Speaking of Facebook, somebody on Facebook got angry because a restaurant banned crying babies. I know this is one heck of a segue from people getting killed to crying babies. But now someone on Facebook posted, somebody I know posted about crying babies, that it was upset because a restaurant did not want babies crying in the restaurant. They banned babies from restaurants. And I totally agree. 100%. Why would you bring a baby to a restaurant? Why? Take them to Chuck E. Cheese. Don't take it where there's all adults. And what happens a lot of times, these kids are screaming to the top of their lungs. I was at BBQs in New York one night. BBQs. Some of y'all know BBQs. Those of you who live in the metropolitan area and people across the country, I guess you don't know. Folks who listen and watch the Ron Kelly Show all across America don't know. But yes, sitting there one night trying to eat, and this baby right behind me screaming to the top of his lungs. And the mother was like, okay, be quiet, trying to rock the baby. The baby wasn't having it, screaming, and interrupting my meal. So for me, If a restaurant bans a baby, so what? I don't want to sit next to babies anyway. I mean, they're cute and all, but there are folks who just cannot control their kids. How many times you see the kid in the Walmart or the Pathmark, or well, not Pathmark anymore, but in a Walmart or in a Target, little kid rolling around on the floor, screaming to the top of its lungs because it didn't get what it wanted, and the mother just not doing anything. You know, see, black folks don't put up with that for the most part. See, black folks turn around and take off that belt and whip that behind. You know, you can't get away with that. You know, black folks don't play that. But how many times have you seen that? Kids rolling around on the floor, screaming because they didn't get the toy they wanted, didn't get the piece of candy they wanted. How many times have you seen that? How many times have you been in a restaurant where a kid was screaming to the top of his lungs, and you know, and you're trying to have a meal and trying to have a discussion with the person that you're there with, and you can't even hear yourself think because this kid is screaming to the top of his lungs. So as far as I'm concerned, if you should take your baby to Chuck E. Cheese. Don't take your baby to some place where there's a lot of adults are. Take him to Chuck E. Cheese. Everybody's making noise at Chuck E. Cheese, so your baby will blend right in. Take him somewhere where he doesn't make where other children are. Don't take your baby to a fancy. I don't understand it. I don't get it. If I had a little baby, I wouldn't want to take him to the restaurant with me. I'd take him somewhere else. You know, why you gonna take a baby to an adult restaurant? So for that person who posted that and got mad because I said I agree, I still say on my radio show that I agree. Because people do not, there's a lot of folks out here, y'all know who I'm talking about, people who don't know how to control their kids, and the kid is up there in the restaurant screaming to the top of his lungs, and I got to deal with that? I don't think so. So anyway, we take a quick break. We'll come right back. Well, no, we're not taking breaks. Sorry. I'm so used to taking breaks. I was going to say we'll take a quick break and we'll wrap up this portion of the program, but it's about 10 minutes left, so I'm going to stay with it. You know, I'm going to stay with my people. And it's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on. I got to plug this phone in, everybody. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on the YouTube. It's the Ron Kelly Show on YouTube, and it's on Facebook Live. So thank everybody for putting up with my nonsense tonight. I'm all over the place. Shout out to my boy DJ Tiny. DJ Tiny does it up for you every Wednesday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's DJ Tiny spinning the house hits, and DJ Tiny is on D Wild Music Radio. That's D Wild Music Radio every Wednesday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Of course, my homeboy Keith Hall, my fellow radio brother from another station, I should say, is Keith Hall, and it's called University 80s. It's Tuesday nights from 8 to 10 East and from 9 to 11 Central Time, because the show comes out of Texas. So it's Keith Hall, University 80s. Tuesday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Fishbowl Radio Network. Okay, everybody, it's about 8 minutes left to the program. You're listening to the Ron Kelly Show, and ordinarily it's on blogtalkradio.com, RonKellyShow.com. But tonight we are not on Blog Talk Radio, but we are on YouTube. Just the Ron Kelly Show YouTube channel, where you can check that out. Go on over there and like me, or subscribe to my channel, if you please, those of you hardcore Ron Kelly Show fans. And you can also like the Ron Kelly Show. The Ron Kelly Show Facebook page is there for your enjoyment. I post things on there. You can like the program. You can leave a message. You like me, you hate me, just listen to me. Every Thursday night at 7 p.m. It's the Ron Kelly Show. And my phone keeps sliding down. I got to keep putting it up. So, shout out to everybody who watches and listens to the Ron Kelly Show. I really appreciate your indulgence, because it's hard to get people's attention these days. It's hard. It's hard because folks have an attention span of a flea. You know. Yeah, thank you, Diana. Thank you so much. Yeah, my mother. My mother wasn't that interested in my radio career. She supported me though. My mother, she may have heard me. My mother may have heard me because she didn't live. She lived in Jersey City, and when I was on radio in college on William Patterson University, WPSC 88.7 FM, and all the other stations that I've been on over the years. WWRL. Yes, I was on WWRL shortly before they flipped the format to Spanish, all Spanish. I was on WWRL. Shout out to DJ Envy, who used to be, who I used to ride with. DJ Envy, traveling all the way to Queens on, and yes, I was on WWRL. I've just been so many stations. I was on a station in New Rochelle, I believe it was. I forget the call letters. That's the station I did the show with. I did a program. I did a show. I interviewed Congressman Pasquale when he was running. He was running for re-election. He was so gracious to give me an interview. So I've been in a lot of places. I've done a lot of radio shows, and and I've traveled great distances to work this thing out. I've been to Miami twice for the Rock the Mic Urban Radio Convention. I met so many people. I met Doug Banks, the Doug Banks Morning Show. Doug Banks, before he died, I did meet him. I had an opportunity to meet Doug Banks. Michael Basin, I did meet, and all his egotistical nonsense, but I respect him because he did something that I want to do eventually. And so many other people. Frankie Crocker's mother was there, the great Frankie Crocker, who inspired me to be on the radio. Frankie Crocker. Frankie Crocker was the first radio personality. Before that, nobody even knew who was playing the records. It was all about the records. But Frankie Crocker changed that. So all the people who are radio personalities today need to pay homage to this man, Frankie Crocker, who invented. Before that, it was just disc jockeys. Frankie Crocker came along and changed the whole game. And now radio personalities, they should all be paying respect to this man who turned radio into what it is today. And for people to Steve Harvey and all the other Big Boy and Russ Parr and all the other radio personalities all across the United States of America, Ricky Smiley, and all of them, and including myself, have to pay homage to this man, Frankie Crocker, for changing the game and making the person on the radio more important than the radio itself, which I've taken full advantage of, by the way. Anyway, so everybody, it's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on the Ron Kelly Show YouTube channel. So you can check that channel out during the week if you missed, or if you would just want to see me again, you can go to the YouTube channel, Ron Kelly Show. Just punch in the Ron Kelly Show in the search engine, and it will take you straight to my channel. It's the Ron Kelly Show YouTube channel. Also on Blog Talk Radio, you can check me out there as well on the archives. All right. Yeah, Frankie Crocker. Yeah, Frankie Crocker. Love Frankie Crocker. Yeah, so the game is tonight, the first game of the series. I'm headed to the Cigar Lounge. They're going to stay open tonight. They're going to stay open late, so I will be jetting out of here shortly after I close the show down, and I'll be heading over to the Cigar Lounge in Whippany, New Jersey, and I'll be checking out the game tonight. It's game one of the NBA Finals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron and the Golden State Warriors. And I don't count the Cleveland Cavaliers out. I don't count them out. They have a chance just like anybody else. Hey, they came back from 3-1 and beat the same Warriors. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm a LeBron supporter. All you LeBron haters out there, keep hating because we respect LeBron. LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. LeBron is better than Michael Jordan ever was. And you heard that from me. Okay, everybody. So we're going to break out of here. I am going over to the Cigar Lounge, have a AJ Fernandez Upman's that I love to smoke. And I will be watching game one of the NBA Finals. It comes up at 9 o'clock. So this gives me just enough time to get over there and get myself situated with my Sprite and lime. I don't drink. Most of you know that. No drunk driving here. Not like the idiot fool Ethan Couch, because I can't get away with an affluence of defense. They'll put me so far under the jail that you'll need an elevator to come down to see me. All right, everybody. So I'm breaking out of here. Do enjoy the series. I'm definitely a LeBron fan and a Cleveland Cavalier fan, so best to them and the best to you. So we'll see you back here next Thursday. Not sure what station I'm going to be on. Oh, God, no cable yet, Sharon. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord Jesus. Sharon, okay, no more chain. Oh, okay, no cable yet. Wow. Well, who's the carrier? We need to, we're going to call him up and curse them out. But you can always go to Buffalo Wild Wings or someplace like that, and you can watch the series there if you don't have cable, like my friend. All right, everybody, so we're going to break out of here. Thank you so much for everybody for watching and listening to the program. We'll see you back here next week for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. So until then, everybody, take care of yourself. Remember it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And that we may not have it all together, but together, we can have it all. Get up and go do something. All right, everybody, I'm out.